I am fairly confident for the first time in 17 years that we are in the start of a major bull market in the precious metals equities, not the precious metals, equities. And I think that's a big difference because we have been in a bull market on the gold and silver market for many, many years, possibly a decade. But the junior mining industry have spent, in my opinion, the last 17 years in a bear market. I've been in this industry for almost 30 years. I started in 1997. For those of you who remember 1997, that was the year of the Asian financial crisis, but more importantly, it was also the year of the Bre-X scandal. So I basically entered the mining industry at the exact moment the world decided that mining was just not investable. And that does something to a person. It makes you skeptical, it makes you patient, and more importantly, it makes you deeply allergic to bad geology, crazy jurisdictions, and management teams that treat shareholder capital like a personal expense account. So I'm standing here today to tell you that something that I haven't said, and I've been very bearish this industry for many years, for over a decade. We are finally back in a bull market for junior mining equities. It's not a hunch, it's pure math. There's three reasons I state that. One is that new funds are being created in the sector, something I haven't seen for 15 years. Real inflows of capital into existing funds. And third, and most importantly, generalist money. Funds that haven't looked at a rock in 10 years or 15 starting to rotate back into the sector. And those are billions, if trillions of dollars. People don't realize is that NVIDIA trades more in 1 hour on a typical day than the entire market cap of the precious metal junior mining sector. But markets don't announce themselves with a trumpet, they creep up on you. And right now the smart money, in my opinion, is positioning itself before the rest of the world realizes that the train has left the station. So who am I? Well, why you should trust what I'm saying. I spent 20 years managing a natural resource fund. I started at Salomon Brothers in 1996. Became partner in 2003, and was part of the senior management investment committee for Salomon for many, many years. Many of you definitely don't remember Salomon, but Salomon was a premier investment bank in the U.S. and New York. So that was my education into institutional discipline. I learned how the big money thinks because I was the big money for a period of time. After Salomon, I founded Carrollton Asset Management, became one of the larger junior mining funds from 2005 to 2016. I built that company from scratch. And when you manage a resource fund for two decades, you see everything. You see the frauds, you see the dreamers, the unlucky, and the very few who actually build value. So which brings me to A2Gold. I did not wake up one morning, trust me on this one, and say I want to be the CEO of a junior explorer. That is a job usually reserved for people who are eternal optimists. Don't confuse positivity with eternal optimism. I took over A2Gold, formerly Allegiant Gold, out of pure frustration. I was one of the larger investors. I got myself on the board. The company had no money, had a market cap of $3 million, and had literally zero momentum. But it had some of the best properties in Nevada. They had spent 10 to 15 years staking some of the best claims. I don't know if I'm moving this, but some of the best claims in Nevada with arguably the best and most experienced geological team in the area, including the legendary John Livermore and Andy Wallace. The geology was spectacular, but the vehicle was broken. I looked at it and realized this asset is going to be wasted if I don't step in. So I took it over, cleaned it up, brought in some of the best people, best CEOs and best CFO and directors, best mining companies and investors, Kinross being one of our largest investors. And today we have a market cap over $120 million. And that wasn't by issuing. We did not do a financing for almost 4 years. Our stock has reacted as the market has turned. So over my 30 years of investing, I've developed the 5 core beliefs for investing in juniors. These are my non-negotiables. If a company doesn't have these, I don't touch it, I don't invest in it, I don't look at it, I don't even want to be part of it. And A2Gold is built entirely on them. The first is a skin in the game, and I've heard a few of these people on the panel talk about that. Management must have not a share position, they must have real money invested. Myself and my directors have over $10 million of our own money. I have over $2 million invested in the company. Not cheap founder stock, actual money. Because when the stock goes down, I want management to feel the same pain as you do. And at A2, we are presented with a decision to raise money all the time, dilution. We take that decision very seriously, as it directly affects our pocketbooks. That changes how you make decisions. The second belief is jurisdiction is everything. I've been all over. I've been in Latin America, I've been in Africa. I spent a lot of my career there. And you can find the richest gold deposits in the world, but if it's in a country where the government changes the tax code every Thursday, or where the project of us all of a sudden can't get a permit or concessions renewed, it's worth zero. A2Gold is in Nevada, the rule of law, infrastructure, a workforce that knows mining, and there's a reason that majors are all in Nevada. It truly is the gold standard. 3, size matters. And I say this, knowing I'm a publicly traded company. I believe there's some of the greatest deposits are very small deposits. You can make a lot of money, and they should stay private. But we're talking about publicly traded companies. And if you're going to make the decision to be public, you need to have scale as one of your tenements. Small deposits don't get bought by majors. To move the needle for a major mining company today, a project needs to have scale and potential. And at A2, we are looking for deposits that are over 2 million. We have about 1.5 million today, 9 million ounces silver, and I think we just got started. If you can't see a path to these numbers, you aren't building a mine. You're conducting a science experiment, and it should be in a private vehicle. 4th is validation. Don't take my word, a CFO, your CFO's word. Look at else is in their investor cap tables. On the corporate side, A2Gold has attracted interest from Kinross, one of our largest investors, Eric Sprott, IAMGOLD, Kalu, Ingalls and Snyders. So serious people that are not only on the mining side, but also on the investment side. And then 5th, which never gets mentioned, you need to have an exit strategy. I'm not sure why people want to be doing this for 15 years. I mean, you should build a company and then have an exit strategy. That exit strategy could be selling the company, or it could be going into production. Tell me the first question I always ask a CEO when I was the investor is, well, what's your exit strategy? What's the monetizing event? Are we building a mine? Are we selling to a major? Is there a GV? How do we get paid? Our team, and now I can turn to some of these slides, so I apologize, but so we are in Nevada in the middle, and Kinross is not just only an investor. They've invested in 2 times in our company, 10% on each time, but they're also involved in our technical committee. They have a very, very strong influence in what we do as well. We have 104 million shares outstanding. 15 million warrants. A lot of those have been exercised recently, so I think we're down to a lot less warrants. We have about 15 million in the bank. Our shareholders are Kinross, corporate is IAMGOLD, management insiders own 21%. I would say about 18% of that has been bought in the open market. Retail and institutions all get bungled, and Ingalls and Snyders is one of our largest shareholders. I'll just highlight 2 people on this. Norm Pitcher, former CEO of El Dorado, is our chairman. Javier Reyes, who just joined us a year ago, someone who has been my partner for over 20 years, put together Luca Mining and Gold Group, and we're now part of the Kalu Group, meaning A2Gold is part of the Kalu Group, which also includes Luca and Gold Group, which is now in a merger with Gold Resources. Our technical team, I just have about 30 seconds, is I would argue the most experienced technical team in all of Nevada. Eastside is a very large project, 92 square kilometers for Nevada. That is enormous. It's a district-sized project. We've only scratched the surface. We have about 1.5 million ounces of gold, 9 million ounces of silver. We've only touched on 20%. So I will be around. I won't talk about the epithermal systems and the air and the geophysics, but the reality is if you want to get to know the project, I'm right outside the door, and I hope this was informative. Have a great conference and a great cocktail.